All right, we are in the Catalina Mountains. We're about halfway up the Mount Lemmon Road, and have parked by the Hitchcock Campground and Bear Creek. Never mind, this is called the Upper Bug Springs Lower Green Mountain Trailhead. We are going to take this up and summit Guthrie Peak. Where are we? We are here. No, we are here. Oh, it's not going to show us the mountain. We're going to summit a peak over on the right called Guthrie Peak, and then possibly drive further up the road and summit Green Mountain, which may or may not be off trail. But this is going to be like a 10K with like 1,900 feet of climbing, so it should be pretty tame and pretty easy. Actually pretty runnable, I would guess. And it's comfortable up here. We're about at 6,000 feet, and we'll get to over 7,000 with some up and down. So anyway, Guthrie Peak and then Green Mountain, which I might make a separate video for Green. All right, so we've come from here, some little baby ups and downs and steps, but generally pretty tame. So we're already 0.7 miles in, apparently. There's a general Hitchcock campground there at the road. We're gonna go to the Upper Green Mountain Trailhead. So we still have quite a bit to climb. But yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it's a little warm, but you got some shade, as you can see, because you're sort of in the trees, just not the full pines yet. But yeah, this is, like I said, this is like a 5K from where we started to the summit, so we still have maybe 2.4 to the summit, and still, you know, a decent amount, 1,500 maybe to gain. But it should be pretty tame trail for the most part. So Catalinas are generally pretty nice trails, pretty well kept, and we're crossing a nice dry drainage here. So we're starting to gain a little bit of vert, and we might, there's something up there. I don't know if that's Green Mountain or not. I'm gonna say no, but we're sort of getting closer to some type of lower ridge, potentially, or a saddle. Looks like we still got some to climb, but at some point, I think we'll have a view of the peak, Guthrie again, that we're heading towards. So starting to become more like scrub oak almost. The trees aren't very tall. Yeah, so I don't think we have a view yet of where we're going, but great trail. A little warm, but otherwise pretty good weather. Here's the view back, by the way. Here's whatever that pointy thing is. That might be Thimble, not unsure. It's probably high, it's probably not Thimble. We came from down that canyon somewhere, and now we should get a view pretty soon, I think. I actually think that could be the summit. Unsure though, because I think we go and then bend right eventually. Probably about maybe 1.4 miles in, so still 1.7 to go, but based on the map that I just looked at, I think that could be our summit over there. All right, so we've hit a saddle. Great views out, I guess, eastish, but we're gonna bang it right on the Guthrie Mountain Trail 704A, and we got less than a mile to a summit, but we are gonna have to drop at some point, maybe over this hump a couple hundred feet, and then regain that and more on the way to the summit. So got some wind up here, but yeah, probably like 3/4 of a mile or 0.8 to the summit. All right, so we're sort of right near the ridge proper, and I think we're about to hit our descent down here, and then there's gonna be your summit. That's our boy Guthrie. So just have like 200 feet to drop, and then we'll have 400 or 500 to gain maybe once we hit the low point. Yeah, This is our little bump, and then the descent is about to be on here. There's your view down to the valley. So we've just come across a little ridge, and now I think your summit's right up there, unless it's beyond. So we just have, I don't know, 300 feet straight up this ridge, I think. The wind feels unbelievable out here. And there's, oh, actually, is that Wrightson or is that Baba Kavari? That's Baba Kavari. I might have said Wrightson before, or maybe I was looking at Wrightson. That's Baba Kavari, the pointy one. Hey. Lead the way, boy. Not there yet, but close, I think. Whew. Got steep at the end. Got three. Whew. Hopefully. This might be the high point in the tree. Maybe. Yeah, I think it is. Not a very descript summit. And it shows the trail sort of going off here to get some views. But there you're seeing Micah Mountain, Spud Rock, and Helen's Throne. So if you go a little further on the rock, there's a little registry in a jar, and then I think if you go a little further you'll get a view, so maybe we'll go out there. There's a view of a cathedral, I believe. So yeah, Baba Kavari, pointy guy out there, and then I think you're seeing Kit and Coyote, Wrightson. So all the way down to Mexico, in fact. All right, so if you keep going on the ridge, you get out to sort of this lookout point where you get a great view of the Rincons, and then I think this is called Reddington Pass. Although it doesn't seem super, I guess you elevate from this, you go between the Catalinas and the Rincons, and I have no idea what any of this is over here in this lush, you see this lush sort of valley. San Pedro River Valley is over there. And then those are the Galliero Mountains where Barrett Peak, Bassett Peak is, that I might do on Saturday. So never been in those mountains, but pretty remote out in the middle of nowhere. Pretty nice spine. And I don't know, that might be the Dragoons down there. You might even be seeing all the way down to the Chiricahuas, but probably not. Yeah, nice views for sure. Although your views of Lemmon are hidden by this hill. Maybe that's Green Mountain with the radio towers on it, unsure. So there's our boy Guthrie. We've just gained the 200 feet from the low point, sort of right near the ridge. And now, just like, I don't know, 60 feet vertical off trail is that little bump right there. So I'm gonna bag that little bump on the way back here, because it's not really gonna add any time, you know, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. So back in the sun, I thought the sun was gonna drop behind that. That might be Bigelow, I'm unsure. One of those might be Green Mountain. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that. The sun is going down rapidly, and well, I can run more. All right, so going off trail here to bag this little hump while being careful to not get pricked by these guys with the sun shining right in my face. So who knows, looks like it's getting pretty cool and rocky up here. Yeah, it's getting a little bouldery, which is cool. We're gonna make it up. So I think your little high point's right here. I thought maybe out here there might have been. Oh, I guess there is something higher. It just takes a little bit. So there's another hump out there, which I suppose you could get to if you really wanted to, but probably not necessarily worth it. Hey, what are you doing? Alright, on top of this little hump, there was your high point of the ridge. There's Guthrie. There's the other hump, which we're not summiting. Feels nice up here. Bombing down. Woo-hoo. It is pretty technical in some spots, so you do have to be a little careful, or else you're ramming right into a rock, kicking a rock. Feels nice now the sun's not on me, but the sun will be going down in about 30 minutes. Look at those views. Pretty awesome. All right. And we're back to the sign. The trail keeps going that way. So, gonna head up and try to back Green Mountain, although it's almost dark. So we'll see. But that was Guthrie Peak. Like I said, a little over to the lookout, like 6.4 miles round trip with, and then I guess went off trail some at that point. So about 2,000 foot of gain, 6.5 miles.